obviously we all grew up with Robin Williams.
Yep.
I do have an article
In all of
of
our favorite films.
yes, of his best. So I've got an article of his best movies. Top 10 best, I think it is.
Well, let's
From
see where Hook is because it should be in the top. But anyway,
yes,
let's.
for Chris's favorite website of all time,
Oh.
Screen Rant.
It's a top. Of course, it's a top 10. It's Screen Rant, isn't
Oh
it?
my
Yes.
god.
Yes, but you know, I thought it'd kindle some memories and of the best films there are. So it is the best
Okay.
Robin Williams movies ranked. It might be top 10, but there you go, top 12.
That's
Hooks at
very
the
low.
Hooks. It is very
It's a
low
bit
for Hooks.
low.
That's low. That's
It
too
is.
low.
That's
Way too low.
that movie fucking rocked. That movie had
Yes.
that movie was my childhood, for God's sake. That was just
And it's not because
I
of
had
Rufio,
some of the
was it?
action figures. As the action figures, I had the raft,
oh
the plank that was a seesaw. So you put one
Oh,
figure on
wow.
each end, and if you pushed one down, the other one would leap off.
awesome.
Amazing.
Like no, not just that JB, but this movie just like classic returning. Like we always see the adventures of the hero when they go back.
Yeah.
But this is the one where we like the standard like going to another world to save it, which is what Peter Pan
Yeah.
did. And
Yeah.
this, but we get to finally see what happens when he returns. And you know what? It
Mm.
was a good return. It wasn't a shit like this
Yeah.
was
It was a really good concept.
amazing concept, amazing film. Robin Williams
Very
was
well
perfect.
executed.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
And Dustin Hoffman,
Ah.
unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Yep.
The sets, all practical sets, really well made,
Yep.
Yeah.
and a John Williams soundtrack.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you have a John Williams soundtrack, you're gonna have a good time.
So whenever someone mentions Hook, the first thing I think of is Smee. Smee.
Hook. Where's the hook? Anyway,
Yeah. All right. Moving on.
Smee. What about Smee? Smee.
Yeah. Patch Adams.
good film.
Good. I liked it until I found out how inaccurate it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty inaccurate to the
Oh,
true,
okay.
true story. Yeah, they classic Hollywood, typical Hollywood. We need to make it not as good as the true story, but you know,
Yep.
Birdcage. I think I remember watching this once. It's
I
just
don't know this one.
I remember. I remember it. I can't remember much about it though. It was a long time ago.
it's classic Robin Williams, very flamboyant, but he was just perfect in it. I can't really remember the plot, but I just remember watching it and again, classic Robin Williams. Okay, have you ever seen The Fisher King? No. Okay, he plays like a homeless man.
Okay.
It's more of a drama than a comedy.
Okay.
I haven't seen Insomnia. Have you seen Insomnia?
I have not.
It's his horror. I think it's like a bit of like a thriller horror. I don't know if it's horror, but more.
There's one film I'm not going to mention yet, but I'm very curious if it's going to be on this list. I'll
Yeah.
wait till the
This
end.
is Doubtfire classic.
Now, the thing I love about Mrs. Doubtfire and I hate about Mrs. Doubtfire is there is a G-rated version, an M-rated version, and an MA-rated version because of
What?
all the takes they've had. It's Robin Williams, so they're not released. There's only one release, but they've got everything they've ever filmed, and he was making a lot of,
more
adult,
inappropriate jokes.
very inappropriate jokes apparently. So there are all those. Maybe we need to start a petition because I want to see that the full.
There is money out there on the table. Whoever owns the rights to the film,
Yeah.
if that footage still survives, there is money on the
There's
table.
money to be had. There's
Yes.
money to be had.
Yeah. Yeah.
The economy's not great. Think about it,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Mrs. Doubtfire uncut. Like,
Oh, yes.
that 1 hour photo. Again, I haven't seen it.
That's the one I was wondering about. I have seen this one, and the majority of the Robin Williams films I've seen have all been comedies or with very strong comedic elements to them because Robin Williams was one hell of a funny guy.
Yeah.
And 1 hour photo is a very, very different tone. If you've not seen it, if you've got a spare evening where you fancy something very different, that one is worth a watch.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, because I think a lot of people forget that he went to the same acting school as Kelsey Grammer, and a lot of the greats, really diverse actors. So I know he had those skills.
Here's the chops.
He has the chops to do a lot.
He has the range, but he was very much typecast as the
Funny
comedic
guy.
over the
Yeah.
top role.
Yeah. Current example,
Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Classic.
Classic film.
Classic film. Ah,
Good
yep,
Morning
classic.
Vietnam. It had to be on there.
Had to be there.
My absolute favorite Robin Williams film.
Yeah. That's my nephew's message tone on his phone is "Good morning Vietnam." Every time his phone goes off, it's "Good morning Vietnam."
He's funny in that film. He's funny. His the sequences where he's actually doing the broadcasts. Good Lord, it's hilarious. But then the tone shifts very serious later on in the film, and it's again, he's an actor that's got a lot of range.
Yeah.
And in this one, they had him doing the funny stuff, but then they also had him going into a lot more serious matter.
Yeah. Next, Aladdin.
The thing that everyone knows him for.
Yes. Well, that's where I was first introduced to him.
Because prior to that he was a blue comedian.
Yes.
Like you wouldn't have been introduced to him like
before he became a blue genie.
Yeah.
I
he was
think...
on Mork and Mindy, so like people knew him from
Oh
that,
yeah,
I suppose,
yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, I remember him saying he only did Aladdin because he wanted something to leave behind for his kids.
Yep, that makes sense.
And then he got pulled into all these kids' movies.
Yep, because of this one decision of his career sent him down the path.
Yeah, that's it. Of course, Dead Poets Society.
Of course, I mean, like, come on.
Captain, my captain.
But the serious role though. See, look at that. But look at that. Look at the timeline on that one. 1989 serious role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Any guesses what the top one's going to be?
Bicentennial Man.
I can't even remember.
Good Will Hunting.
No, it's got to be Bicentennial Man.
Good Will Hunting.
Oh,
ding,
come
ding,
on.
Ding, ding, ding,
Sure, that was a fine film, but was it Robin Williams as a robot over hundreds of years? And I'm not even being facetious about my love for that film. Like,
I know it's a good film. Bicentennial Man was great.
But Good Will Hunting, fine film, good film. Again, like, but is it Bicentennial Man? Is it the concept of artificial intelligence who's actually with a conscious, and he struggled to be recognized as a human?
Well, I think the why this is number one is because it's the Oscar winner.
Sure, okay.
Like
it is Screen Rant.
It is Screen Rant.
It is Screen Rant, yeah. They weren't really on my radar all that much, and because my disdain for IGN, came first, and now I'm realizing they're all like IGN.
That's the thing. IGN is not the outlier amongst the crowd of evil.
No.
Well, it turned out they're all in the same Slack channels and other messaging systems.
Of course.
And they're all coordinating with each other.
Yeah.
So, however much you think you hate journalists, you do not hate them enough.
Oh no, I think they're terrible people. You know what?
Oh, you think they're people? That's sweet. That's very generous of you.
Yeah.
I'm talking my way into a prison cell, aren't I?
Yes, you are. Now remember,
honorable in a positive part though. Robin Williams, I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but he has some stand-up comedy recordings that are absolutely hilarious. Anyone watching or listening that hasn't seen or heard Robin Williams just doing pure stand-up, go and look some of it up. I'm sure it'll be out there on YouTube.
Gold.
It is absolutely hilarious.
There's one joke he told that I still find the funniest joke in the history of jokes, and it was like how he was talking about how like a terrorist goes and does a suicide bombing, goes up to heaven, and as soon as he gets to heaven, he sees George Washington come out with some brass knuckles and starts beating up on his face. Then obviously you see the rest of the Continental Congress come out and start beating him up, bashing his legs, and the terrorist goes like, where are the virgins? And then George Washington leans in, it's 77 Virginians. And they start beating, starts beating him up. I was like to me that was like the greatest. I did not do that joke justice, but when I first heard Robin Williams tell that joke, I died. I literally died. Like I was like going, yeah, that's only a joke that he would be able to craft and pull off.
Yeah. I used to
remember one of. There you go.
I used to love watching his interviews when he's on any panel show or interview show like Graham Norton or whatever, and they just can't control him.
Yeah.
I think there was one. It was a late night show, and he walked on, and it was 10 minutes before the host said anything other than hi. You know?
I watched him make jokes about Pokemon for like 10 minutes straight, saying how it sounds more like a gay sex club or a gay like. And then he after he goes, I'm gonna get a call from Nintendo tomorrow, and they're gonna be so mad at me. I was just gonna be like,
it's Nintendo.
But he's funny.
Anyway, Neil, you're saying?
You say that.
So there's one joke on the one of his stand-up recordings that I've listened to, and he's talking about an interview with a South American tribesman. And he's asked about cocaine. He says, cocaine, it's our little gift to the white man for what he did to us. As he gives us something or other. We give him monkey for his back. Again, not doing it justice. I am not Robin Williams. Go and look up some of his full-length stand-up live shows. They are fantastic.
Yep. Yeah. He made many jokes about Viagra as well. I remember one of his, he goes, when you take Viagra, you're not on your time anymore. You're on Viagra's time. Again.
Yeah, I had an old friend that when he was in LA or maybe San Francisco, he ran into Robin Williams and annoyed him.
Did he break the cardinal rule?
No, I think it's worse than the cardinal rule because Robin, I think he was losing weight for a role or something, so he was out jogging.
Yeah. Now, the general rule is, you know the rule when they're in Hollywood, that's considered like off limits. You don't. As a fan, you know that you're not meant to like if they're in Hollywood, you're not really meant to go up to them. You're not meant to ask them things. That's their hometown.
Yeah.
If they're in New York and you run into them, say that's fine, or any other city, that's fine. They expect that, but. Hollywood's meant to be their home territory where they're not annoyed.
It could have been San Francisco, but
I'd still say that counts as home territory.
But like he just said one line. Like he just said, like it was surprised to see that it was Robin Williams. He went, oh geez, he just blurted out, geez, you got fat. And then Robin Williams was like, F you, man. And then this is the funny part. He went to my friend went to a stand-up club, just walked in there, and there was Robin Williams on stage doing low-key stand-up, spots the guy and goes, this guy right, and just pulls him into his stand-up show. And because my mate's Australian, he's just like did this whole thing on Australians, and then my mate kind of just left. So he got his payback, but it's just, classic Robin Williams,
Hollywood is very much a lesser place now than it was a decade ago. Anyway, it is definitely a lesser place for not having Robin Williams in it.